Good morning, dear viewers. Welcome to Lumen this day. My name is Sidney Mwamainda. We are still in the morning period of His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who passed on the 5th of June 2025. And glad to say the day of burial has now been set, and the day on which the body is coming to Zambia has also been set, and this is a milestone that Zambia has made in the recent past, coming from the background which many of you may know. I'm not alone on this program. I'm joined by Vincent Piri. Vincent, good morning.
Good morning, Sydney, and good morning, viewers. Indeed, we are back to talk about the issues that are affecting us, Sydney.
Yes, Vincent, maybe you want to take up and introduce the first item, which is the funeral of the late president, as I mentioned in my opening remark.
Yeah, like you said, a milestone has been made, because now we know exactly when the body will come to Zambia, and we also know the burial. And I think, yeah, so far so good. We just wait and see what is going to happen as the body will come to Zambia, and we mourn our beloved president.
Mm-hmm. So maybe for those of you who missed some events regarding this story, we have a video that we can show and see how it was done in South Africa between the two parties, government, the family, and all those who were involved in the negotiation. Here is a clip for us.
The impasse surrounding the funeral and repatriation of the body of Zambia's 6th president, Edgar Lungu, from South Africa to Zambia has now been resolved. Both the government and family representatives announced the development during a joint media briefing in Sandton, Johannesburg. The resolution of the standoff now means Zambians will be accorded a chance to mourn their 6th head of state with dignity, a move that has been praised by the negotiation delegation.
We are so happy that ultimately the country, the different functions that were there, have now held hands, they've now come together as one, so that we together move forward and see that our son is buried with the respect and the dignity that he so much deserves.
This has been a very, very difficult phase. And it has been a joy to see what God has done today, to see the family and the government team in a joint press briefing presenting to the nation the fact that even though there were some hurdles, these hurdles have been overcome. That speaks of who we are.
But let us understand that as individuals, we are nothing. But as a nation in totality, we are something. And therefore, we should look at this situation from that perspective.
The late president, who died in South Africa, will now be put to rest on Monday, June 23rd, following the extension of the mourning period. Henry Himonde for Zanis News in Sandton, Johannesburg, South Africa.
There we are, dear viewers. Some good development there. And just to explain further, or maybe give more details in case someone missed. So the body will be coming tomorrow, that is the 18th of June, and will be put to rest on the 23rd of June, of course, at Presidential Memorial Park. And then there will be, the body will be taken to Mulungushi Conference Center for the public to go and pay their last respect, and after which the negotiation parties agreed that the body will be taken to Chifwema, for residence of the late president, on about 3 days, and then there will be a prayer service at showgrounds, which will be presided over by the Archbishop of Lusaka. So the family said that the late president had made that request before he died. We hope that, as one of the negotiators has said, that Zambians will be given a chance to mourn. We hope that no one will be restricted from going to mourn, because as someone said, I was watching the Sunday interview of Honorable Winter Kavimba, who said this is a funeral and it is not a wedding party where we can bar other people from going to mourn. So we hope that all the people who have the time or create time will be allowed to go and mourn. Yes, Vincent.
Yeah, I think good development, Sydney, because I think the country was in a situation of uncertainty. We didn't know what was going to happen until the two parties had to come together in South Africa and come up with the resolutions, which I think favors everyone. For them to come up with a resolution means the two parties are happy, and of course the Zambians should be very happy to see that this come to an end, and a peace prevails at the end of the day. And yeah, Zambia is known to be a country that is a peaceful country, and known for. And now that this has been resolved, I think this is good that we go back to the usual things that we do all the time, and that Zambia is known about.
Yeah, of course, there are some issues that have come up, and suggestions from people that maybe we need to have something written down on how we need to be mourning and just taking charge of funerals like these, so that whenever we have a funeral, then we know that the steps to take is this, the days of mourning is this, where to bury is this, maybe it's the church to go to, is it the ground where to go and do the final prayer service, is this place, something like that. And others have said no, legislation is not important, but it should be the matter of heart and the like. But we saw a good example in the funeral of the late Pope. Things are well stipulated.
Yeah.
People know that from this point to this point, this is what will happen. I think I go for the idea that we need such, because human beings as we are, if there is nothing like that, not really in the Constitution, but just knowing that what we do normally when there's this is this, should be there, because human as we are, favoritism will always be there. But on top of it all, as Zambians, we need to be loving each other, to be forgiving each other, and if all is well, then I don't think we can reach where we went. Maybe we continue to mourn indeed until we put our late president to rest. Let's move to another story, which is an international story of the American government, which has given some travel restrictions to countries largely from Africa, which countries are nearing to about 40 countries that have given travel restrictions, and those travel restrictions could subsequently be bans. Let's just see a report from the international media, a report which is indeed not ours, but worthy to show it.
Zum Abschluss schauen wir uns heute Abend das geplante Reiseverbot der Trump-Regierung an. Berichten zufolge erwägen die USA eine weitere erhebliche Ausweitung der Einreisebeschränkungen, die vor allem auf afrikanische Länder abzielen. Medienberichte verweisen auf ein internes Kabel des Außenministeriums. Daraus geht hervor, dass die Trump-Regierung Bürgern aus 36 neuen Ländern.
Okay, so sorry for that. I think we got a wrong language report mix up there. However, some of the countries, like I've said, from Africa that have been given travel bans, restrictions are Kenya, Angola, Egypt, Ethiopia, Ivory Coast, Nigeria. Others are Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Mauritania, Niger, Senegal, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Zambia of interest. But what is it that they are saying? Why are these restrictions being given? Largely, the cable cites reasons such as unreliable identity documents, passport security, and refusal or unwillingness by some countries to receive deported nationals, the Reuters reports. So those are concerns, and then the countries affected have been given 60 days within which to address these concerns. If they fail, subsequently, like I've said, a ban may be given. I don't know what your take is, Vincent.
Yeah, well, it's sad. I think the Americans are also trying to take measures. Also, I think even before this, there was a bombing that took place in Colorado, and they are looking at the safety of the country, and of course it is due to these the immigrants, so to say, the people that want to go to America and so on. They are the ones that are actually implicated. I think there was an Egyptian that was mentioned as one of those. And yeah, they are looking at how are these people coming into the country, how are their visas and so on and so forth. And just try to scrutinize them and see if they are worthy people that are coming into the country. So I think as Zambians, it's a wake-up call. Let us be serious also and come up with documents that are acceptable. And yeah, so I think it's a wake-up call because we need America. America is helping us a lot. And we need our people going there for studies, even for greener pastures, and that is helping us. So if we are banned from going there, then even the people that are there now are on the list of going back to Zambia. And imagine these are people that are maybe studying, they are working there. Some they've been born there. All their lives they know is America, and suddenly such kind of things start happening. It's actually a very big disturbance to the people.
Mm-hmm. So the other maybe thing to say, what we are getting is that there is actually no loss of diplomatic relations between these mentioned countries, including Zambia, to America, that the relations remains the same. But maybe one thing that is being talked about is that these are geopolitical reasons. America trying to show that they're powerful and not China or any other country. But like the reasons they've cited, indeed, they call for us to do our homework as Zambia. Why is it that after so many years of independence, we can completely rely on other countries for almost everything? Because indeed, it is important that some of the things we do on our own. And of course, just a tendency of wanting to leave your own country to go and stay in another country. It means there's something lacking there. Of course, the Americans have also a tendency of, if they see the best somewhere, they want to get and make that person American and the like, but that is their choice. So I think for me, we have more to do, especially that this also comes again on the other backdrop of the aid to Ministry of Health that was cut off. So America is also, like I said, trying to show that they're indeed powerful and that their resources matter to Americans, and if people are given, they use them well, something like that. So it again comes to us as Zambians.
But again, the Americans should also be careful.
Yes.
Look, I'm looking at it this way. If they cut all the aid and so on and ban countries, there will be superpowers to who? I mean, if they are superpowers, then they should be seeing to help these countries that are underdeveloped. And I think that's what the opposite that China is doing at the moment. Because if you look at what China is doing now, China has been closed for a long time. They speak Chinese, they just dwell in their own country and so on. But now they've decided to come out, and they're coming to Africa. They are doing all these things that they're doing. They are also trying to learn the English language so that they are internationally accepted. And now China is looked upon as one of the superpowers because they have decided to come out. But look at what America now is doing, because they have been out there and now they want to close themselves. I think it is like the opposite that is going to happen if they let it go the way it is going.
Yeah, so that is about what is the second theme, or second
coming.
Second coming, yes, of Trump is doing. It has come with what word can I use now?
Restrictions.
Of course, in his inaugural speech, or is it acceptance speech, he said we want to get America back to where it belongs, and it appears that is what he wants to do. But indeed, like the English would say, no man is an island. So back again to our own country, Zambia, Vincent, the issue of the Constitution amendment continues, and government is on the road to see to it that these amendments are made. And so Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Nelly Muti, was at a workshop for the parliamentarians and asking them to participate in the ongoing constitution amendment process in national interest. And then maybe at this point we get to the video that we got from, of course, ZNBC today, and see what was being talked about.
The constitutional reform process is underway, and to ensure it is inclusive, participatory and consultative, a workshop for lawmakers has been organized. Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, has officiated at the consultative workshop.
I am therefore very delighted that Parliament is once again at the center of this pivotal chapter in our constitutional history. I have every confidence that honorable members will rise to this occasion in the interest of the country and citizens.
Deputy Clerk for Corporate Affairs, Cecilia Mambwe, is urging MPs to acquaint themselves with the clauses under review.
In order for the members of Parliament to effectively speak on behalf of the millions of Zambians on a very important document, you must undertake that function from an informed position, and hence the importance of this workshop.
And Justice Minister is confident that the current amendments will address the gaps in the Constitution.
It is essential, of course, to bring this important dialogue back to all of you here at the National Assembly, because as you have heard or maybe are aware, this is going to take a legislative process which is anchored around Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia, which gives permission to Parliament, through you, the members of Parliament, to alter the Constitution.
Experts have also shared their insights on the proposed clauses in the draft bill.
We are trying to maintain the first past the post electoral system for election of members of Parliament who shall represent constituencies, and we are also introducing a proportional representation electoral system for election of women, youths, and persons with disabilities as members of Parliament without constituencies.
The House passes the bill when the third reading is done. Once the third reading is done, then the bill has gone off the hands of the National Assembly. What's the next procedure? Is presidential assent. This is the stage at which now the bill is going to be presented before the President for assent. The President shall within 21 days sign the bill.
The Constitution Amendment Bill 2025 will be tabled in Parliament this June. Ruth Chainda, ZNBC News, Lusaka.
There you are, dear viewers. The consultative workshop, of course, graced by the Speaker of the National Assembly. And reading other sources, we hear that Parliament is actually divided on the Bill number 7 of the Constitution amendments. However, the Speaker there calling upon the parliamentarians to read thoroughly the bill that is being presented to them. Vincent.
Yeah, I mean,
I mentioned last time that when this process maybe is done, it goes to the issues of reading. A bill is read only 3 times, and there we got it that when it goes to the third reading and it passes, then the only remaining thing is the President to assent. And stakeholders, we mentioned, some of them have mentioned that they are not for the idea. However, the train is moving.
The train is moving, Sydney. Yeah, but look, I think this is something that will definitely affect the Zambians, positive and maybe negative, and that's why people are some kind of divided. But I think people also trying to look at what are the benefits, and if those benefits are there, do they outweigh the negatives? And look at the situation where we're in at the moment, getting into something that is going to involve a lot of money, and the Zambians out there are suffering. Is it something worth doing, especially this time? Well, I think those are the questions that the Zambian out there is looking at. Should Zambia spend a lot of money doing what they want to do, or should Zambia look at building schools, employing teachers, employing doctors, and so on and so forth? Because at the moment, if you look at our schools, yes, we are talking about free education, but look at how staffed the classrooms are in these government schools. The children literally sitting on the desks with no, just sitting on the floor. There are no desks in the schools. So I think those are some of the things that we should look at for free education to have its meaning. I think there should be a lot of schools, and the teacher-pupil ratio is good enough for a student to learn. I think that's what the Zambians are looking at the moment. And the bag of meal and so on. Those are some of the things that the Zambian is looking at. And if we are talking about amendments of the constitution and so on, and you are spending a lot of money, I don't think this is what Zambia at the moment is looking at.
Okay, so those issues have been raised, but nothing has changed the thinking of the government. Yeah, we are seeing a train, like I said, is moving, and it appears to me that this train is an electric train, not a diesel train. It is fast, it is on its course, and of course, maybe let me take the other side. Some of the things that are in this bill are progressive. For example, for many years as Zambians, I'll pick a few things. We've been complaining of by-elections, that they drain the meager resources. And this bill is proposing that the by-elections will be cut off, maybe apart from those. If a by-election is created where a member of parliament, for example, was an independent member of parliament, then there could be an election. The bill is also proposing delimitation of constituencies. We know that the money that is being given to constituencies, the CDF fund, is huge. And so if Vincent, we are one constituency, we are given, for example, 50 million, the two of us, who share 25-25.
Yeah.
But if we are divided, your own constituency and my own constituency, it means you'll be given 50 million. I'll be given 50 million. I will have to do with the development that I need for my own. Yeah. But then maybe the other side of the coin is, if that is done, okay, where is the money going to come from? Yeah? Where is the money going to come from to continue doing that? And already from the constituencies that we have and the money that is being given, this money which allow me to term as a huge constituency development fund, little it can be pointed to unless in some areas. Yeah. But largely here in Lusaka, the constituencies in Lusaka, what is it that would point to say, from the time the money has been given to constituencies, this is what was done, this is what we've done? The biggest problem I've said even before is that in the constituencies in Lusaka, for example, it's the drainage system. We saw the floods, they came. Money is given, what is happening? It is this money that is given that is intended for the constituencies, for the society, but we don't know where it goes. And perhaps Zambians are afraid to say, okay, yes, we divide, but the money again will be
squandered somewhere.
Yes, will be going elsewhere, will be ending up elsewhere. So the people I've heard speak, the church, are saying, perhaps with the high cost of living, can we maybe put the money elsewhere and then we do this process later on? The others will be, the MPs to be paid. We know that they are paid good monies.
Yeah.
They are gratuities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have them 211, how much will be the bill for that? Yeah. But of course, like we are saying, the train is moving, and perhaps what is supposed to, because our help will be in the MPs, and they need, like they were told, to read the bill thoroughly and see what exactly is there. But also, there's supposed to be some sensitization workshops to the people, because and then MPs to avail themselves to hear what the people are saying. So if civil society organizations go into constituencies, hold these meetings, and then sensitize the people about what is in the constitution, step by step, they understand, and then an MP maybe is also in presence. Because reading, we know people have always said the reading culture of Zambians is not too good. So if we say, okay, this MP is going to read this bill, and then when it goes to parliament, the issues of voting, they just read as many as they have it, they say aye, just like that, and it passes. We saw in the other changes that were being made last time in parliament, where people who had no grade 12 certificate were signing. And then later, following day, they discover, no, there's this, so you are not standing. People were crying. You see? So the other thing is, I've seen ZNBC, government is putting up these short articles to sensitize people about what is in the constitution. Maybe government should go to all the maybe TV stations, radio stations, and pay for these adverts, so that they help to sensitize people. Because of course they are claiming there's a lot of time, but there is no time, and obviously we have the media, so they can use the media. Let Ministry of Information go to media institutions and then take these messages and then pay the promotional videos. Let them create them to sensitize people the way they are doing it on ZNBC, and also pay. And in that way, they also be helping. And that's why licenses are given to radio stations, to TV stations. Let them take to community TV stations, to community radio stations, and propagate this agenda and see where it goes. So I think that is somehow my take.
That would be a good thing, Sydney, because the word around is this thing is expensive, and maybe even the other side that you are talking about is not even heard, because people are not really interested in listening to what to reading and so on. And so what is easy to remember is how much is a bag of mini meal, how much the schools and so on, the rate of unemployment and so on. These are things that people are able to see and talk about. And so when we are talking about the bill and we are talking about delimitation, who can even explain what delimitation is in the compounds and so on? These are things that they don't know, and how they can help them and so on. But I think like I said, the problems are clear. We're able to see that Zambia really at the moment needs Zambia doesn't need to spend money on the bill. Zambia at the moment need money in their pockets, like maybe the other regime would say, money in their pockets, money to buy a bag of mini meal, money for the teachers and so on, employment and so on. These are things that people need, and those can only be done if the government has infrastructure that will be able to accommodate these people, hospitals, schools and so on, that will employ these people, and they are given the monies that they deserve.
So Vincent, maybe we end up here, and then we only appeal and make a strong appeal that the government considers to begin to explain these matters, if indeed they are very serious about this issue, using the media. I think Lumen TV, we are not shy to say we can help to disseminate. After all, we are now in all the provincial towns and towns on the line of rail. So our doors are open. We can help and give us something that we play our civic role as well as Lumen TV. So dear viewers, this is where we end for today's program. but we continue mourning the late president, and so in mourning him, as we continue, we'll end with a song, and then join us again on Thursday. For today, it's a bye from us.
There is a dark cloud upon our nation. Moneni tolo tunsetile ilao. Tata balungu mayaku, maya balungu mayaku. Imwe the system, Chaba mama. You were the only former president. Wamene enzene salopo. Death has gained, Zambians we have lost. Nipati pamineti na sokoneza, okeseme munati uza. Nipati pamineti na miluganya, okeseme munati uza. Uchile kalipama Shele kuma former president's sponsor. Kaja wakene fika una wateka sichiluwa. Kamene mwenda mutipo shele kuma former president's sponsor. Balevi mwana wasa balupia banda na maiko sata. Oh, name of my president. Just like the other 5 presidents, name of Matitawa. Jaiba name of my Jaiba. What a shame of film.